Hey YouTube fragrance family, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing great. This is one of my answer videos from my Q&A that I posted yesterday. You guys just blew my mind as far as how many questions you had for me. Nuts. It was absolutely nuts. I'm gonna have to split this in multiple videos just because there was over 120 comments, over 150 questions for me, and different questions too. So really outstanding. Thank you so much for. When I posted that, I'm like, I'm not gonna get anything. You guys freaking sent me tons of stuff. I'm gonna keep that video open, that question video open that I posted yesterday. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put the link down below, and you guys can ask new questions. I'm just gonna keep it open. I'm gonna do videos like this when I have time and just answer like 5 or 6 of them every time. The older the question, you know, the ones that ask me questions first are going to get them answered first, of course. So I'm going to hit 5 or 6, and then I'm going to respond to your question in that video saying, you know, this is going to go in video 1. So this is video 1. I've already told the people that ask those questions that they are going to be in the video. Some questions I don't think they're appropriate just for the video. I'm just going to write down an answer. If you're asking me something specific, I'm just going to answer it that way. So I'm going to have multiple videos like this. This is video 1, so I'm going to tackle them first come, first serve. So let's get into it. The first question that I had on that video was from Dakshitha. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. You said, "Hello Mark, I've got 2 questions for you." Great, okay, let's hear them. So we got 1. What's your favorite female perfume you like to wear? There's a lot of female-based fragrances that can really go unisex. There's so many, especially in the niche side, you know, they're unisex or they go in the women's section. But one that's like a clear-cut women's fragrance that I like to wear from time to time is Angel from Mugler. Definitely something wearable for me, and is one that would stand out. Again, there's a lot of fragrances that I could just look at that are just in the women's section, like Spiritueuse du Vanille from Guerlain. Is on some sites is classified as a women's scent. It's a vanilla-based scent. That one's like one of my favorites. I don't think that's a female-based fragrance at all, but I don't really see fragrances as gender-based. So Angel, to be honest, that's probably the one that is the most mainstream, the one that maybe a lot of women would be surprised that I'm wearing. So that would be the one, my favorite female fragrance that I like to wear. What were my parents' favorite perfumes? So that's the second question. My parents' favorite perfumes, again, my parents weren't really huge frag heads, obviously. You'll see from what they wore. I really did not get it from them. My dad, all I remember, he used to get cologne from my mom for Christmas all the time. But his favorite, I know it stood out when I smelt my dad, was that he always wore Stetson, the original Stetson. You know, this guy did not have, you know, big expensive taste as far as fragrances go. Stetson all day, every day with my dad. And I don't even own a bottle of Stetson. I should, just to kind of have that, you know, that fragrant memory come back. But he actually wore Stetson. My mom, again, same thing. These two did not have, you know, Dior's and Chanel's and stuff like that. No, my mom wore Exclamation by Coty. Again, Coty and Stetson. So my parents, again, not really huge in the fragrance game, but I remember those 2 bottles very fondly, and that's what they wore. Thank you for your question. Question number 2 is from YoNose Franson. Which fragrance is the oldest that you own and still used, or still use? How old is it? So I'm assuming you're telling me not, you know, the release date of the fragrance, but the actual bottle. How, you know, my oldest bottle that I own. The 2 bottles that I can think of that I've still have from like before my YouTube years, you know, like well before them. Boss Bottled, my bottle of Boss Bottled and my bottle of Le Male. They're both backups of my backups. If you guys go see my Boss Bottled review back in 2009, I had 3 bottles. I finished off 2 of them, and I still have that one. I've had those Boss bottles for a long time. So that Boss bottle, that fragrance is probably the oldest. And Le Male, again, this is when I started, I was buying backups, or backups of the backups, because I had favorite fragrances, Boss bottle, Le Male, and I had like 3 or 4 of those bottles. So I stopped doing that, you know, as far as I was collecting. The Le Male bottle I have now is the only Le Male bottle I have. It's an old one. I think that one's 2000, if I had to guess, 2006, 2005. It's an older Le Male bottle. It's my last one. It's still 3/4 full because I just cracked it open like 2 years ago, I think. So those 2 are my 2 oldest. Those are like almost early 2000s, those 2 bottles, I would say. Around there. Yeah, I have nothing from the 90s. Early 2000s, those are 2, Boss bottle and Le Male. And again, those are like signature scents for me, so I've always had those bottles. So they're about 8 to 10 years old. Third question is from Seth Lee. I see you're an avid Habs fan. Yes, I am. What's my prediction for the Stanley Cup winner this year? Hockey. Well, when the Habs get taken out, I usually don't watch hockey, I'll be honest with you. Once they're out, I'm done. I see that the Lightning are taking on the Blackhawks. I'm definitely cheering for the Hawks this year. Why not? The Lightning took out the Habs, so I just can't do it. I can't cheer for the Lightning. So I'd like to see Chicago get another one, because they're going to have to dismantle that team, so might as well get another one. And then they're going to have to take a look at their cap space. So they might have to trade Mr. Sharp, Patrick Sharp, hopefully to the Habs maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So yes, I'm cheering for the Hawks, but I probably won't be following it too much. I'll go on NHL.com, take a look at stuff, but I probably won't be watching too much. The next question is from Ray Rich 1. Ray Rich has a fragrance-based question. What are your top 3 memorable fragrance compliments? Man, gotta keep it PG-13, don't I? Kids are watching, Ray. I can't really disclose here because kids are watching. You kind of know where that's coming from. Those are probably the most memorable. I'm just like, okay, all right, I know where this is going. Yeah, those are probably the most memorable fragrance compliments. Is the ones that I'm not gonna go that far. I'm just gonna go to the next question. Next question is from a fellow reviewer, Joe Anthony. So let's take a look at what Joe has to ask. He has a few questions. Good. This is like a 8-parter here. We got a whole bunch. So let's take a look. I know you travel overseas a lot and went to New York a few times, but have you ever been to Atlanta? I have, Joe. I've been to Atlanta just once, actually. I was there for about a year. Well, it was probably the early 2000s. Actually, my brother was practicing medicine over there in Atlanta and invited me over to go check it out. I actually went to I love the city, by the way. I went to actually an Atlanta Hawks game. It was totally like empty. And I think Josh Smith was playing. I think it was like his rookie year or something. So I went to a Hawks game. That was the first time I had that. What's that chicken place? Chick-fil-A, I think. First time I had that. Had a lot of good food, and I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about not Chick-fil-A, but like my brother brought me to these places. Wow, food in Atlanta was awesome. Talking about food, you're talking about food. You're asking me about food. Favorite meal. Also, do you like steak, and what's your preference cut of steak? So for favorite meal would have to be lobster. I love lobster, crab, something like that. It's always a special time when I'm eating that. Steak, always steak. I love rack of lamb. Love it. I love stuff that is not your typical Canadian and American stuff. Again, I love stuff like ribs, but ribs on the smoker is something, you know, really, really awesome. I love that kind of stuff. But if I had to pick, probably a surf and turf, a really, really good steak, and with a lobster crab would be great. Steak cut, right now I'm enjoying T-bones. That's what I'm cooking on my barbecue all the time. I love T-bone steaks. Probably not the best cut, but really, really good stuff. I love the flavor of it right now. And that's actually, you know, I like to switch it up a little bit, just like my fragrances, but T-bone is the way to go for me. Do I like or drink scotch? If so, what's the year you like more, or wine? Honestly, to be completely honest with you, I'm not a huge drinker. Scotch is not my forte. I'm not into it. Maybe, you know, later on in my lifetime I'll give it a try, but sadly, no, Scotch isn't really my thing. Wine either. Just never has. It runs deep in my family. Wine, big time. We're a French family, so there's a lot of wine that flows when we get together. For me, very simple and straightforward as far as drinks go. Scotch, not doing it. Wine doesn't do it. So unfortunately, I can't answer that one, Joe. I just got nothing. So let's take a look at your fragrance related. You got one. If I can own one discontinued fragrance on this day, but get it at its retail price, niche or designer, what would it be? Discontinued. There's two on top of my head that are two fragrances that I might never get. And that's Jean Patou Pour Homme. You know, the vintage stuff, the stuff that everybody's talking about. Jean Patou Pour Homme. I want to get my hands on it. That's one of them. And in the niche side would have to be Vintage Tabaron from Creed. I hear so many good things about it. Those fragrances, just looking at the note breakdowns and what people are saying about the fragrance, I have to admit those are probably easy blind buys for me if the price was right. And most of the time it's not. It's just way too much money. I would have to split it like 10 ways to even think about getting a bottle of those. But those are the two. That was a good question. So that's it for today, guys. I tackled a few questions here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this segment. I might do this maybe once every weekend, maybe tackle 5 or 6 questions at a time. Hopefully it gets you to know me a little more. I got a good balance here, you know, some stuff that's a little more personal. I like to let you guys know a little bit more, and of course fragrance related too. So hopefully lots of good info. Let me know in the comments below what you think of my answers. Maybe I got some that really shocked you, or you got something that you could let me know about. Maybe, you know, your favorite cut of steak, or your favorite meal, or your most memorable fragrance compliment, stuff like that. I would love to see those in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll have a part 2 for this video hopefully soon. Thank you.